Hi, Russ Whitney here, and welcome to our next video in this series. If you're receiving this video, chances are you're on our email list, so you're a member of the Inner Voice community, and you've probably ordered the Inner Voice book, or you were referred to us by a series of influencers. These are friends of ours out in the business world that have bought the book for many of their customers. So either way, welcome. And if you saw the last video that I did, it was kind of an introduction, and today I want to dig into some meat. So I want to start today with the difference between warrior and statesperson and the way to handle things. You know, in the warrior phase, remember, we're working on selfish, self-centered, arrogance, finger point, judge, blame, criticize, all riddled with character defects from human training. When we move over to the statesperson side, we start to learn more about the power of humility and tolerance and patience and kindness, the character asset side. Now keep in mind, we don't ever have to give up warrior. Listen, I can still be selfish, self-centered, arrogant, and finger-pointing. I can do it with the best of them. I just don't have to anymore. See, now I have a choice. And the humility and the tolerance and the patience and the kindness and letting go of resentment stuff is much better. Now, we're not going to do all that in one day. Those are things that we're going to learn over dozens of these videos, probably, you know, if you stay with us. Today, I want to call your attention to something we call H.O.W. H.O.W. And that stands for honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Today I'm just going to cover honesty real quick. And you know what? If I say to somebody, well, we need to work on your honesty, which is what somebody said to me once, and I'll tell you that story. And I was like, I'm honest? What are you talking about? And I'll get my chest all up in a dander. Truth is, most of us really aren't honest. We tell white lies. We tell red lies. We tell big lies. We tell lies that we think are to protect somebody. We're in denial on certain things. Sometimes we lie to our own selves. We justify, we minimize, and we rationalize. And that creates blocks. The whole object of Inner Voice is to get us to purpose. And honesty is where we start. That's how we start breaking through those blocks, to start getting the gifts, to start getting things to come to us rather than us having to scratch and claw for everything. So my quick story. As I was starting into my training, my first month of my 5 years, I had a spiritual coach with me. Now keep it in mind, these videos are both business, and the things that I'm sharing with you have everything to do with business, okay? And life. And somebody called me, and I took the call as we were doing some studying. And I was supposed to come back to Florida. No, I was supposed to go to Fiji, and this person asked me, was I going to come back to Florida? And I said, nah, you know, I'm not. I'm going to go on to Fiji and do some more, you know, soul searching. And actually, I had changed my mind about a day or so earlier, and I was going to come back to the mainland here. And I didn't tell him that. And I said, yeah, and I'm going to go on to Fiji, and I'll be back in a couple weeks, you know. And I didn't think anything of it. The spiritual coach who was with me looks at me, and he just clicks his tongue. You'll read about him in the book. Jose is his name. Quite a character. I didn't say anything. Then all of a sudden, the click comes again. I look and I say, what's that about? He said, well, he says to me, tomorrow we're going to have to start working on your honesty, much like I'm saying to you right now. And I was offended. Like, what? I'm honest? What are you talking about? He said, well, if you're honest, why would you tell somebody you're going to Fiji when you know you're going to California? And I thought, well, you know, because I like my privacy, and I don't want people to know where Russ is all the time, you know. And he looked at me and said, and if you lie about that, what else will you lie about? And I thought, wow. And I was open-minded. We're going to talk about that in the next video. So I wanted to learn. I wasn't offended by anything he could say because I wanted to change my life. And this information I'm giving you is all that was shared with me. And he said to me, make a list tomorrow. He said, you can do it mentally or write it. He said, and I'm not going to check it, and you don't have to show it to me. But on how many times you tell a white lie, a red lie, or this lie, or that lie. And I got to tell you something. That next day when I did that inventory of myself, I wanted to throw up on how many times I actually wasn't being honest, or I was justifying or minimizing or rationalizing or exaggerating or making up a story that wasn't true, that didn't even matter. And holy cow, was that an eye-opener. So here's what I want you to do. This is lesson number 1. Let's start on the honesty. You know, I have a member, Inner Voice, who I was going over this honesty lesson with. And she owns a fairly big company up in the Northeast. And when I went over this with her, she says to me, oh my gosh, Russ, you're not going to believe this. I have a picture on my phone of a car accident. So if I'm late for an appointment or something, I can show them the picture that there was a car accident, and that's why I was late. She said, oh my God, that's horrible. I never even gave it a thought. Well, let me tell you something. Those lies pile up and those blocks pile up. And then you don't see this nice, relaxed aura, this happy, joyful, spiritual free. So, you know, let's work on honesty. Let's do that list and see how many times we tell a white lie, a red lie, a black lie, and let's start changing it to the truth. As they say worldwide, the truth indeed is one ingredient to set us free. Russ Whitney signing off.